Alrighty, you got me all in my Black Friday glory today. It's just been a busy day. Well, not been a busy day. I shouldn't say that. So I just ready to go work out this morning. So I spent a little more time. I did go work out, but I just kind of took some time for me this morning and didn't rush out behind on everything else. But you know, here I am, and I wanted to talk to you guys. It's important. So I just thought I would just, you know what? Here I am. This is what I look like. I'm going to get done. A little bit of work, a little bit of family time, just because my oldest is getting ready to go back here in a couple days, and I want to spend as much time with him as I can. Okay, and plus, who on their day off from work or whatever doesn't like to have just, I don't know, a few extra sips of coffee? Okay. And that's what I did this morning. So there you have it. All right. So I just got in from doing chores. I got stocking hat hair because it is exciting. But I got everything done, and I wanted to come to you guys live at the normal time and not change anything today. So here I am. So I'm going to, because I don't want to take a lot of your time today. I want you to spend time with family. If you're out shopping, great. Have a good time. Grab up all those deals for me. I've quit doing shopping. I hope you can hear me with this thing today. I don't know. It's acting technical difficulties and acting funny. So maybe I'll just kind of, I don't know. Maybe I got to do it this way. Can get you guys can hear me okay. So anyway, first thing, I just want to remind you can win stuff. If this is the first time you've ever watched my video, you can win a free. We can talk about real estate, and we can, have answer any kind of questions that you might have. If it's something I do not know, I am happy to redo the research. And so just to kind of let you know that, but you can answer any questions that you might have. So yeah, you can win a free one-on-one with me. All you have to do is, you're watching, go ahead and like and comment on it. You can do Happy Thanksgiving. You can put Black Friday. You can put Hey Girl. You can put whatever you want to put down. Okay. So now we're going to jump into it, because I think this is a great topic for today. Okay. And I know we have all felt this at one point in our days. Okay. You guys, but in my household, and it's not with my husband and everything, it's not that we both share the duties of the house. It's not that we don't share in the duties and all of that. We both share in those duties. However, I monitor if there's anything that's happening, like when we were trying to buy a house, when we very first, way back when, like 15 years ago, when we were trying to buy our very first house, that investigated mostly by default, because I just am the person that seems to handle that stuff. It's not, and he's got plenty of his own roles. Like, he works full time out of the house. At the time, I was doing in-home daycare. So I had time to sit down and do the research, or, whatever. I just found the time to sit down. And that's how I ended up taking over the checkbook as well. It's just because I had the time to look at it for 15, 20 minutes we were at, and just really monitor it, so we could stay on budget. Okay. So in this process, it's just kind of, and then plus I was in charge of the kids. So I and all of that. So I had to get all of that stuff. So it was just always easiest for me to know what was in the account and whether we could afford to do that or not at the time. Okay. I know there's a lot. That's why I've changed my free Facebook group, which you can get the link to that in the description here. Can't talk this morning. You can put that in the link in the description for the free Mom CEOs, Women in Charge of Their Household. And, and it's just I feel like I've just been the CEO of the family. I make sure everybody's going where they need to go. However, I was also also the one that always asks questions. And that leads into what earlier this week I told you, if you're looking at buying a home, it's good to get advice from family members. Okay. But here is typically what happens when we are, okay? So the title is Now Scared to Buy a House More Than Ever, okay? So we've sat around the turkey dinner table, we buy a house, we're having conversations about it, and everybody pops up with every horror story they've ever heard. Every them or Jimmy John down the street. Everybody. They've told you every horror story. So all you're saying, oh my land's sake, I don't want to do this. I do not want to do this. This scares the living tar out of me, right? Been there, done that, you know, to do this, okay? So you've heard everyone's horror stories. You also have heard everyone's advice why it's a not good a time to buy. There's, you know, houses, you know, if you're sitting around and the houses are just outrageous. Excuse me. Houses are just outrageous right now. Why would you want to buy when everything's selling at the top of the, okay? And then they all have like, well, my realtor had me do this and my realtor had me do this. And so now, you know, in the buying process, and we ran into that in that buying process. And, you know, so you've just, now you're more confused than ever. You're terrified because you're afraid that all these things are going to happen. You know, you've heard all this advice from people who do not do the business on a daily basis. And this is what their realtors had them do. And this is what their realtors had them do, telling you back and forth. And you're just overwhelmed. Like the mind is blown. You're like, I have no idea where to even start, right? And you just feel like you've started it all the wrong way. You know, you just feel like you've started it all the wrong way. So let me tell you, okay, give people advice, get advice from your family members, okay? It is also good to take that advice and apply what works for you. Now, don't sit here and say, well, it all works for me because it's all going to be bad, blah, blah, blah. No, that's not it, okay? I understand you're confused, and that's why it is good to you are confused, and they will help unmuddy the waters, okay? The plain and simple thing of it. So when people tell me, why would I want to buy at the top of the market? Okay, well, why wouldn't you want to buy? You know, even at the top of the market, if something drastically goes wrong, even in 2008, things happened drastic. It was drastic for the time, but you know, not able to work with you, you know, kind of thing. So even if something drastic happens, you still own something, and you're still working towards owning something, and it's more start climbing back up. Okay. And just, if you had a plan to only be in a house for 7 years, you just may have to change your plans a little bit if that happens. However, that doesn't mean it's going to happen. And that also doesn't mean that just because you're buying now that the market is going to tank. It still could be going up. Supply is still way down. Okay. So if you pull in the supply and the demand factor, until the supply goes way up, a lot of people selling their homes. All right. And they can't build homes fast enough to house all the people that want to buy. Don't worry about that. You know, the estate market does take a turn and it does go down. It's not going to go down to where your land value is worth nothing. That's not going to happen. You're still owning something. Still get it figured out, because that's the point. You're the only one in that situation. Okay. So don't worry about it, because everybody's going to be willing to work with you. All right. And the plain and simple thing. Okay. And the other plain and simple fact is horror stories do happen. They do happen. People have heard horror stories. I've heard as a realtor, I don't even tell half the people, okay? It's just there to make you cautious and aware that things can happen. And just be cautious that things can happen. But if you get the right person in your corner, as far as a realtor, it'll be fine. They'll walk you right through it. They'll walk the best advice they can give you. Okay. That's what you have hired them to do. All right. So don't sweat it. All right. These things, and we, when you're talking to family members, because it's their experience, it's what they have heard. It doesn't mean it's the same experience that you're going to know if it's the right time for you. And now that you've heard all of this from your family, now you can go to whatever realtor that you hired and you can talk, and they will, or if you need to hire one, now's the time to say, well, here's my concern, and see what they all say. How are they going to talk to you about your concerns? With that, houses are it's a good time to buy. It really is a good time to buy. Supply is low. There's always going to be a demand for your house. Okay. Top of the market if something happens, but it's not going to go for anything either. Okay. And at the end of the day, you're going to own something, or don't let the Thanksgiving table talk get you completely. And I know that there is several people out there that need to hear this right now, or listening to this, and somebody that is buying, pass this video along, because I want this to get out there to everybody. There's always going to be names. Their thought goes to the negativity always. They never go to the positivity. We all have that family member. Okay. It just is what it is. Now, this is what you want to do. You want to own something. It's still a good time to own something. Okay. It's still a good time to buy because supply is still high. Okay. Even though I said the other day, it's kind of gone, the market's kind of go to a slow boil. It's kind of a low simmer. It's still high. Homes go on the market. Okay. But at the same time, you may also really sit and think about it after you've talked to these people. You may be like, what, I need to wait just a little more time, more money in the bank. And there's nothing wrong with that either. Okay. Nothing wrong with that. It's going to have to feel right for you. It's not what's going to feel right for grandma or whoever you're getting your advice from. Okay. It's got to feel right for you. But take the horror stories, realize it can't everybody's advice, apply what works for you. Okay. Because everybody's got advice. Apply what works for you. If you're confused, they'll help you get unconfused. And if you feel like you've just started all wrong, again, talk to your realtor. You probably have not. Okay. It's probably what you're feeling. All right. So with that, I hope, like I said, pass this video around, because I know that there are several people out there that need this advice today, because they have just come off a Thanksgiving dinner with family, and now they're feeling like what am I doing? I'm doing it all wrong. So, there's somebody out there that needs to hear this. Okay. And if you would like to hear, and if they would like to hear more, go ahead. If you're on YouTube, click the subscribe, and that way you'll get notified every time I come on here. I'm on here every morning, every weekday morning at 10 Central time. All right. So 10 a.m. Little tips like this all the time to talk to you and give you a little bit of advice on what to do. Okay. With buying, selling, anything. Okay. Downsizing. If you know somebody, get them over there too. I also, like I mentioned earlier, I have my free Facebook group. You can grab that link in the description. You can also grab the YouTube channel link. Watching this on somewhere else than YouTube, get on over to YouTube, hit that subscribe button and that like button or that bell so you can get notified when I'm on. Okay. All right. I think Black Friday, and I hope you guys all have an amazing weekend. And I will see you guys at 10 a.m. on Monday morning. You